श्रद्धा का प्यार भरा नमस्ते. Welcome to yet another episode of the noun series that we are studying currently. Today we will be talking about numbers in the form of noun. Now you must be getting like numbers in English in noun. Please do not get confused. We are not talking about any mathematical numbers. We will be talking about nouns in the form of numbers as in singular and plural, right? Singular form and plural form. Now what is this singular form? Singular form of noun. Remember, singular form of noun, it is not a type of noun. Kindly do not get confused. We have read about proper noun, common noun and collective noun as of now. So noun as in the form of number basically will represent the common noun. Okay. So in the form of numbers is divided into singular and plural form. Now what is this singular form? A noun that will denote a single or one person or one thing will be known as singular noun. Whereas any noun that will be denoting more than one person, that will be, or more than one thing as well, so that will be considered as the plural form of the noun. Let us understand with the help of an example. What is this? This is a pencil. It's one, right? If you can see, what is the number? It's just one pencil that ma'am has. Now ma'am has more than one pencil. So if more than one means two or maybe like three. So now I will be calling them as pencils, right? One is pencil and more than one is pencils. Okay. Same example we can see through pen. I am holding one pen. I have a pen. One pen, right? So it's called a pen. But if I have more than one pen, we will be referring them as pens. So this will be known as the plural form of pen is pens. Am I clear? So with these two examples, we can see that when it was representing a single person or a thing, we will be calling it as singular form. So this is one. And plural form will be like many, more than one. If we talk about friend, I have a friend, so one. So it is friend. More than one, it's friends. Okay. So if you are seeing, I have added an S basically. Now why did I add this S? We will get a clarity on this when we speak about the rules of converting singular to plural form. There are certain rules that we need to remember while we are doing or while we are converting it from the singular form to the plural form. Okay, let us study or let us dive deep into this world of rules. Let me tell you, it's sounding big but it isn't that difficult. We just need to remember certain things. So the first rule says, or let's not write it like this, we should write like this. Rule 1. Okay? Rule 1. So the first rule is the simplest of all, which says that add S to the noun to get its plural form. Add S to the noun to get its plural form. For example, boy becomes boys. Car, more than one will become cars, right? Table, more than one becomes tables. We also saw this example. Pen becomes pens. Pencil becomes pencils. A girl, if we add an S, girls. So boys, cars, tables, pens, pencils, girls. We have just added S and we have got the plural form of it. So the noun was boy, it became boys. Was car, became cars. Table became tables. Pen became pens. Pencil became pencils. And girl became girls. right? So this was the simplest of all. We have added an S to the noun to get its plural form. Okay. Coming to rule number 2. Rule number 2 says, if there is a noun which ends with Y, if there is a noun which ends with Y, for example, story, for example, fairy, for example, you remember any? I'm sure you must be remembering. We will be doing them like baby, right? What does this rule say? If any noun ends with Y, replace Y with IES. Okay, let us do one example. Story ending with Y, fairy ending with Y, baby ending with Y. So what we are doing is, what we have to do is we will subtract or will minus Y and add IES. So what we did is removed. Subtracted means we removed Y and added IES. Stories. We removed Y and added IES. Became fairies. Removed Y and it became babies. But with this rule also comes an exception. Okay, or maybe a sub rule under the rule. You must be thinking, just before this ma'am wrote boy and the plural form of boy was boys. It also ended with Y. Then why did ma'am just add an S and not IES? Okay, so there is an exception to this. If there is a word which ends with Y but has a vowel just before it. For example, boy, it ends with Y. But what do you see? There is a vowel, right? You remember? Do you know the vowels? Basically, if I can just write it down for you here, I, A, E, I, O, U. I'm not talking about the sounds. We will do that separately. I'm just telling you the vowels. Okay? A, E, I, O, U. Boy. Toy. So before Y there is an O. Joy. Before Y there is an O. A day. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Right? So day. There is a vowel. Can you see this? In this case, you will just be adding an S. So boy becomes boys. Toy becomes toys. Joy becomes joys. Day becomes days. Okay, but if it was a city, C-I-T-Y, it is ending with Y, but there is a consonant before this. Before Y we have a consonant. So in this case, just replace the Y, so minus Y and adding of IES. City becomes cities. Okay. So we have to remember this and we have to keep this in mind. Let's move to rule number 3. What rule number 3 tells us? Now there are words which ends with S, X, SH or CH. The words which will end with, or the nouns that ends with S, X, SH or CH. So we add ES to the nouns that ends with S, X, SH and CH. We need to add ES. This is plus, right? Plus means we have to add es. Let's do some example like bus. Bus becomes buses. Can you see it ends with an s? So we just added es. Box, x. So we just added boxes. Match, ch. It became matches. ch, as in bush. It became bushes. So we just added es. We just added es to the noun that ends with s, x, sh and ch. We also covered few examples. So bus became buses in plural form. Box became boxes in plural form. Match became matches in plural form. Bush became bushes in plural form. Now we can move ahead to rule number 4. Rule number 4. Okay, we need to be very careful when we are learning about rule number 4. Please pay attention. Here, the nouns that end with o. Okay, what we have to do? The first rule, there are some mini rules within this rule form. If there is a noun that ends with o, we have to, let's do it with an example, it becomes easier. Potato. So potato becomes potatoes. Mango becomes mangoes. Tomato becomes tomatoes. So what did you see here? The nouns that end with o, we have just added es to get its plural form. So we've added plus es, we have to just add es. Now I would like to tell you, see, o, before o we have a t. In potato, in mango, before o we have a g. In tomato, before o we have a t. So this t, g, t, they are all consonants, right? So if the words which end with o has a consonant just before it, right? Just before it, in that case this rule of adding es will apply. You have to remember this. I'll reiterate for you. Nouns that end with o and has a consonant just before it. P-O-T-A-T-O, right? So T, see, before this o we had this T. Only then this rule of adding es will apply. How it changes? See, we will take some example. Cuckoo, studio. These are the words which are also ending with o, right? Cuckoo ends with o and studio also ends with an o. But just before this o, what do you see? It's an I in studio and it's another o in cuckoo. So these are the vowels o and I. So just before o, so instead of a consonant, if there is an o, we will be only adding s in that case. We will only be adding s in that case. So cuckoo becomes C-U-C-K-O-O-S. Studio, plural form becomes studios. Okay. Again, there are certain exceptions to it. There are certain words which have a consonant before the last o, like radio, sorry. We do piano. Piano. And then there is another word, radio. Okay. So what do you see? N. Before O we have a consonant N. But still we do not add ES here. It will be PIANOS. And radio will be RADIOS. I think I told you about this. So there are certain exceptions to this. If we combine rule 4, remember if a noun ends with O, we add ES to it. But before adding ES, we have to check whether when it ends with O, is there a consonant just before it, as in mango. Second exception was if we have a vowel just before O, no ES, only S, like radio. Also, there are certain words like piano, wherein even if it is ending with O and even if there is a consonant before it, we still add S to it. Okay, so this was rule 4. Now, the last rule for today's class. There are 10 rules that we will be studying, but today we will be doing 5. So for today, rule number 5. Nouns which end with F or FE. We will add VES and we will subtract this F or FE. Let's do it with an example. Knife, KNIFE. What do? We remove this FE and we make it knives. So the plural form of knife is knives. Okay, we will see a few more examples. Thief. It ends with F, remove F, say bye to F, add VES. So yes, again, let's revise it. Nouns that end with F or FE, we will remove this FE and add VES. So knife became knives and thief became thieves. These are the few examples that I took today in the class so that you can understand better. We will also try to upload a worksheet where you will be getting a lot more examples and your understanding will be clearer. Today we read about 5 rules and in the next class we will be also learning about few more rules. Okay? So till then you keep revising your concepts. If you have any queries or questions, please do let us know. Till then, take care and see you in the next video. Thank you so much.